The night I lost my job, the house turned into a courtroom. Dad slammed his fist on the table. "Pack your bags. Failures don't belong here." My husband didn't defend me. He spit at my feet, grabbed his coat, and walked out with the woman he'd been sleeping with. She smirked at me like she'd already taken my place. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I just stood there, silent, while their words carved into me like knives. What none of them knew was that I already had sharper blades of my own. My father had always measured me against his sons and found me lacking. Men build, women follow. That was his sermon. I tried for years to prove him wrong. Long nights, overtime, climbing the corporate ladder inch by inch. My husband cheered me on at first, called me brilliant, said he believed in me. But belief turns sour when someone fears you'll outgrow them. The subtle signs came first. His phone flipped face down at dinner. Whispers in the hallway cut short when I entered. Perfume on his shirts that wasn't mine. And then the undeniable. Photos. Him in a hotel lobby with her hand hooked in his arm. His smile too familiar. That was the day my marriage ended, though I didn't say a word. I filed it away, like evidence for a case I'd eventually bring to trial. That same year, the company I'd given my life to dangled a promotion in front of me, then handed it to someone less qualified. A man, of course. They said I should be grateful for the opportunity I already had. I smiled, and quietly began buying them, piece by piece. Through silent partners, shell companies, invisible signatures, until the very corporation that tossed me aside was mine. But I kept that secret buried, even when the pink slip came, even when security walked me out like a criminal. I went home carrying nothing but silence, because silence, I knew, was a weapon. So that night, when my father disowned me and my husband humiliated me, I didn't protest. I went upstairs, packed a single bag, and left behind the ashes of the person they thought I was. I drove straight to the beach house, the one tucked behind dunes, its deed in my name alone, a sanctuary none of them knew existed. The sea was black glass under the moonlight. I stood on the balcony, letting the salt air burn through me, and made a promise. They would regret ever thinking I was powerless. My revenge didn't come in rage, it came in strategy. First, the divorce. Clean, surgical. I didn't fight him for scraps. I let him take what he thought was victory: our joint savings, the car, the furniture. 6 months later, the judge handed me the company shares I'd hidden under trusts and layered ownership. By the time he realized, his lawyer admitted defeat. He left court pale, clutching a woman who didn't know she was holding on to a sinking ship. Then came my father. He loved power more than blood, and his power had always come from money. But when the contracts dried up, when banks refused his calls, when his own company filed for bankruptcy under mysterious market pressure, he finally looked up and saw me, in the boardroom chair that had once been his. "Lacey, this can't be you." His voice cracked, thin as paper. "It is," I said. "It always was. You just never bothered to look." Christmas that year was different. The family gathered in silence. No booming laughter from my father. No smug smile from my husband. I walked in wearing black. Simple, controlled. My heels echoed on the hardwood as I set gifts by the tree. They watched me like I was a stranger. In a way, I was. Dad finally spoke, voice trembling. "Why didn't you tell us?" I met his eyes, calm, steady. "Because you never listened." The climax came not in shouting, but in realization. They saw the truth piece by piece, that the failure they'd spat on had risen higher than they ever dreamed, that the daughter they cast out now held the keys to everything they'd lost, that the wife they discarded now lived untouchable while they drowned in the wreckage of their choices. And I didn't need to humiliate them further. Their own downfall was humiliation enough. Sometimes revenge is fire, sometimes it's ash. Mine was silence, turned into empire. As I left that house, I didn't look back. Snow fell in soft sheets, erasing my footprints as I walked to the waiting car. For the first time in years, I felt weightless. Not because I'd won, but because I no longer needed their approval, their love, or their name. So when people ask me if I regret what happened that night, I smile. They think I lost everything. But the truth is, that night, I lost nothing. I was already free. I just let them believe they'd set me on fire. What they never realized was that I was the one holding the match.